Well, good morning to you and God bless you. Thank you so much today for tuning in to our show. I'm excited about what the Lord is saying today. There's a lot of unrest going on across our country, of course, you know. And like the prophet Nehemiah, God has given me a burden for our people, a burden for our black male, a burden for the African American, burden just for the country. And so just like he told Nehemiah, he told him to rebuild. And I believe I have an assignment here to help rebuild trust, to help rebuild confidence, not only in the police, but into each other. So today I have some special guests. We want to continue the conversation that we started on last week with our guests. Listen, I am an African American man, of course you know that. I am a pastor, I'm a father, and I'm a veteran. And I am concerned about our nation. I'm concerned about what's going on. So today, God has given me a different format. We're not going to preach the way we normally preach because God is always speaking in a different way. But today, tune in, get ready, call people, get a watch party going on. Today, I have some special guests with me today, Albany Police Chief Pursley, as well as the Dougherty County Police Chief Johnson. They're with me today. Tune in, get ready as we go into the studio to hear what these great men has to impart into our souls. God bless you, and again, thank you for joining us. And I pray all is well with you this morning. We bless God for you. We thank you for tuning in, and we just pray that you're walking in the faith and that you're trusting God in spite of what's going on. We got to remember that God is in control and that all things are going to work out for our good. Last week, we started a conversation about the unrest going on across our nation, and we brought some gentlemen in. But today, we're going to continue that conversation, and today we have with us, amen, Albany Police Chief Michael Pursley. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning, sir.
And then we have Dougherty County Police Chief Kenneth Johnson. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us. We're excited about y'all being here. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us today and share some of the information that I think will bless the people. As you know, there's a lot of unrest going on in our world today, and people are so much kind of confused with what's going on. Tell me what you think about what's going on across the nation with the killing of Mr. Floyd and others. What's your perspective of that?
You know, whenever there's one death,
Okay.
it's bad.
Okay.
But especially with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and others, is that it was unwarranted.
Yes, sir.
And regardless of what their past was, you know, did they have to die? And that's one thing that we want everyone to understand. As a police officer, you hold life and death. You know, that's how much power you have.
Yes, sir.
So you have to be careful about what you do because for what the actions of one person, it caused the whole nation to, you know, go in another direction. But it's terrible. Now, the protesting, listen, I support it, I agree with it.
Got it.
But when it comes to the rioting,
Okay.
that's where I think we need to stop.
Okay.
Because what happens should make us so angry that we want to become activists and not become destructive.
Okay.
And what you're seeing is that when people become destructive, it may take away from the activist part of how to get involved.
Okay.
And sometimes we turn our anger and destructive behavior towards things that supported us.
Okay.
So if you're upset about the death of George Floyd,
Okay.
and you want to go and destroy and tear up something. Well, a lot of times you tear up the things that support you every day.
Yes, sir.
You tear up your grocery stores.
Got it.
You tear up your shopping centers, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make sure that this anger and this frustration that the people have,
Okay.
that is turns toward activists, and like I said, not being destructive.
Not being a distracted
Yes. Mm-hmm.
distraction also. What do you think, Chief?
I piggy off of what Chief just said. I think people have the right to protest
Okay.
peacefully, but when you're rioting and looting, it takes away from the cause.
Got it.
So whenever you're protesting, you have a right to protest for whatever cause you feel.
Okay.
But once you start rioting and tearing up people's property,
That's right.
you takes away from the neighborhood, plus you takes away from the cause.
Gotcha.
Not only in doing that, you're destroying where you live. And to bring that revenue back into the place where you live takes a while.
Got it.
So with all that anger built up, it just takes away from the cause of peacefully protesting.
Yeah. I think being locked up for months with this COVID contributed to that. Do you not think so?
Nah.
No?
I don't
okay.
think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. Because
Okay.
you have some people, they look for this to happen. When
Okay.
you have a peaceful protest, you have those who's not really protesting, demonstrating or protesting for the cause.
Yes, sir.
They really want to loot, steal,
Okay.
damage things,
Got it.
and cause destruction among everything else
Got it.
in defeating the cause.
So they look for an opportunity.
They look for an opportunity.
Now, we haven't had any around Albany, Dougherty County, have we?
No, we haven't had anything, just peaceful protests and
Okay.
rallies,
Okay.
which is what we need, because honestly, it goes way deeper than just the death of George Floyd.
Okay.
It's, when you look at the challenges that all the communities have, and you really look and and have an honest talk, that's where all of that frustration and that anger, it's brewing at that level. How can we head it off?
Got it.
So that's why I don't think the pandemic didn't have anything to do, because I even feel on another level that if we would have continued, if Minneapolis wouldn't have happened, if Louisville didn't happen,
Okay.
there was going to be some type of unrest come out because of the conditions of the pandemic.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but it was something was brewing, and these unwarranted deaths
Yes.
occurred, and it just.
I guess I was trying to say there's a lot of pent up frustration, and people just, with everything going on, and they just use an opportunity to vent, right or wrong or different, but
Well, they use the opportunity, but like we were saying earlier, some people just have a nature for destruction.
do it, yeah.
To do it.
in spite of
And they use this protest, George Floyd,
Okay.
the killing in Brunswick, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And they use that as a mean to do exactly what they're trying to do.
Got it. So regardless.
Regardless.
Yeah. Do you think law enforcement brutality is a systematic problem?
I would say it's more so the culture of that agency. For instance, you have these cities that separate from hey, all these new cities pop up, and they move away. It would be no different than if a segment of Albany wanted to break away and form their own town.
Okay.
Well, now you're going to have your own police force. You're going to have your own everything else. And it could be the perception that this is just for a certain part.
Okay.
Where there's going to be a culture that comes up in that department that, hey, here's the expectations. And these are the standards of living around here.
The norms.
Yeah, the norms. And if you don't fit into this norm, then, you can't be here.
Okay.
Now, that's one part. Another part is when you look at just the culture of that agency. If you have an agency and the culture is us versus them, then who's the us? Us is going to be the police.
Okay.
Right.
But then who's the them? What them? And any kind of group that is targeted or identifies as them,
Okay.
then that's where when you have words like the war on crime, the war on drugs, it's a war against your own people.
Certainly.
So when you have those type of cultures, that type of mindset that flows up in the agency, then however they administer the law, you're going to have these instances.
Okay.
But if you have an agency that is community minded, that doesn't matter your skin color, it doesn't matter your race,
Nationality.
nationality.
Got it. Okay.
Listen, you're a citizen. We're here to protect you.
Okay.
We want to be involved and engaged, and vice versa. It lessens these things from happening. Not saying it won't, but it lessens it.
Okay. Got it.
And then you have to look at it this way too. We try to hire the best we can.
Okay.
Out of all applicants that come through our department, we try to hire the best. And in doing so, you still have those that go out and violate the policy. So when they violate the policy, that perception is it's a systematic system.
Yes, sir. Got it. Understand.
But you're gonna have that.
Okay.
But we do the best to hire the best that we can.
Yes, sir.
Some people are just born with a mind of us
Okay.
versus them.
Got it.
And when that happens, you create that perception of being a systematic program.
Okay. Got it. That's good.
It kind of goes when you hear, you know, and I've heard it here when you people say, "Man, let me become police. I'll go bust all the drug dealers." Well, okay, you don't become a police officer just to bust all. That's just a facet of what you do. It's several other things. So or when people say, "Yeah, I don't want to be a cop. I want to be a narc." Well, okay, I got you. You can go out here and help us clean up the streets, but it's way beyond that, and that's just a small portion of it. And when we find people in our organizations who don't support our mission, vision, our core values, and it's you know, because you know we're both products of Albany, Georgia,
Certainly.
as are you. So that means that these are the, you know, these can be our family members. These can be our friends' family members. It could be our friend. It's possibly somebody who we know, who knows us. So, yeah, I expect my officers to treat his family members just like, you know, vice versa.
Treat them as you want to be treated.
That's
Certainly.
it.
Certainly. So when you say we're a product of Albany, Georgia, you think outsiders don't have the care as much as the people who are from the city?
No, I feel like people respect who they know better.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Growing up, they have a sense of knowing who that person is.
Okay.
And when you have that sense of knowing who that person is, you tend to kind of open up to that person.
Okay.
More so than
Trust.
a stranger.
Yeah.
Trust.
So
Yeah.
the trust
Okay.
builds up in there.
Okay.
The other, when you have outside people come in, which is not bad because you know, we've hired people from other places. It's you hope. Well, I'll give you an example.
Okay. Okay.
We've done operations where we brought officers in from other parts of the state,
Certainly.
and their mindset is, man, when you get to Albany, Georgia, you know, you better have your boots strapped and your
Yes.
guns ready,
Yes.
because the perception of Albany, Georgia to the rest of the state
Wow.
is that it's the wild, wild west. And yeah, we have crime here, but it's not to the point that, you know, this is Baghdad.
Okay.
Or this is,
Certainly.
you know, Kabul. But that's the perception. And we have to tell people, nah, if you're thinking that you're going to come here and get in a shootout, no, we don't do that here.
Okay.
And people
Yeah,
still
that's good.
still relate Albany to back in the early 90s when Albany
Yes.
was considered
The
murder
Murder
capital of the
capital.
world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And people who's never lived here don't know anything about Albany, but when you hear Albany, Georgia, the perception, you automatically think that's the wild, wild west.
Yeah. And some people are afraid to come.
They are, because of what they've heard. And I would tell you the biggest ones who add to that are folks who
Lives here,
live right here.
Wow.
especially with the social media and
Oh, yeah.
going on. Everything
Okay.
is on Facebook.
So a lot of that, and
Yeah,
it goes
yeah.
back to the culture. So once you come in and all of it, well, I mean, you have variety. You know, the sheriff is a product of Albany. We are, when you look at the other law enforcement heads or public safety heads, if they're not a product of Albany, they've been here in Albany well over 20 years. So
Okay.
they're deep rooted
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So if you look at all the chiefs in Albany,
Yeah.
it's from Albany.
Yeah.
Albany, yeah.
Chief Personal, and I, we went to Dougherty.
Okay. Yeah.
Chief Bowder that retired from here went to Dougherty.
Okay.
Chief Smith, his assistant,
That's
went
from
to
Dougherty.
Dougherty.
Yeah.
Troy Conley with the school system went to Monroe.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
So,
Right.
Yeah. So they have a vested interest.
yes.
This is their home.
Right.
And they, yeah. Got
And you
it.
seems to want to take care,
Yes, sir.
better care of where you're from.
Yes, sir.
Your place, your backyard.
Yeah.
And so, like Chief was saying earlier, when people know who you are, live with you, live around you, and if they have a problem, they feel comfortable coming to you
Certainly. Because
to
they know
address
you.
that problem because they know him from back then.
Certainly. That's good. Good relation. Let me ask you, do you believe there's a pattern targeting people of color, specifically black men? And if so, why?
I really can't say
Okay.
if there's a system to target black men, but what we hear in the news, it seems as though it always involving black men, people of color.
Got it?
So with that perception there, and the news media sends out that perception among others that there is a problem.
Okay.
But I can tell you here in Albany, Georgia, between the city police, the county police, the sheriff department, we don't have the issue. Now, I can't say exactly what one is thinking, but what we see, we don't see the problem that there is a targeting blacks, African American males, or females, whatever minority in the city of Albany. But across the world, you do have that perception because of what you see on the news.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You
Yes,
know, when you target a person or a particular group, you know, that racial profiling, that's what gets you in federal court now.
Got it.
And it's going to cost you millions of dollars. What you do is you go after the crime. You know, if they're selling drugs in any location, you go, hey, we got to get everybody who's out here selling drugs. If they're constantly riding by, breaking, you know, shooting up houses, hey, we got to go find folks who's shooting up houses. Now, if you want to talk, if anyone wants to say where there's some over policing in the community, now everybody needs to understand Albany has been majority black. If you go back and read W.B. Du Bois, Souls of Black Folks, I want to say it's chapter 7. He talks about Albany, Georgia. It's over 100 years ago. It was 70% black.
Okay.
Well, when you equate any community, any segment of any community that has socioeconomic challenges, unemployment, lack of education, homelessness, those factors, crime is going to come in.
Certainly.
So, of course, if there isn't anything to address those socioeconomic issues, you have to address the crime. Now, as far as going out targeting people, that's racial profiling.
But do you think that exists?
I would say in some communities,
Right.
it may.
Okay.
This is what we try to make sure that we don't do here.
Okay.
Because, you know, if someone says, well, the only reason he stopped me was because I was black. Well, no, I'm sure you had to do something. Because, first of all, just stopping people to be stopping people now, you know, can't do that.
Well, you may not do it here, but across the nation.
And that's what's
It can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah.
It's like I say, when you look at the news, the perception is that's what's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's what's going on. And like I say, we don't know all the details of what
But only
happened.
what we see on the news.
Only what we're seeing on the
Yeah,
news.
certainly.
And just by what we see on the news, that perception is you would think that.
Yes, sir. Got it. Okay. Yeah.
But it's something we have to be cognizant of, not just at our level, but even at, you know, that patrol officer level. That hey, you got to know what you can do, when you can do it, and even how it may look.
Got it.
Because
And what you can't do.
and what you can't.
Certainly.
You know, when you're making a mistake, just say for instance, traffic stop, and you realize you're wrong, you have to own up to that. Don't try to make it something else.
Okay.
When you try to make it something else, that's when that profiling starts kicking in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we see a lot. Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Is there an awareness that police violence is an issue, or is it dismissed as an attack on the police department?
I would say, yes, we are aware that it's an issue because there have been too many situations.
Police violence. There's an issue.
Well, I mean, and I listen. That's, you know, we having a conversation. Everybody needs to be honest.
Yes, sir.
That if you go back and look at lynchings
Okay.
that have occurred, and this point was brought up in a documentary I was looking at, that notice that the people, and they have handcuffs on. Well, back in the 20s, 30s, who had handcuffs? Law enforcement. You know, today you can go into any place
And buy yourself.
handcuffs,
Yeah.
but during those times, only people who had handcuffs was law enforcement. So when you look at the lynchings and you look at how law enforcement was used in our early century, you know, during the 1800s, in the early 1900s, law enforcement always played that role. You even go to the Civil Rights Institute here
Okay.
and look at how law enforcement was used.
Okay.
When you talk about that, we are aware, and when you talk about these paradigm shifts in law enforcement over the years, that is something that we're always dealing with. You would have thought in 1992 when Rodney King happened,
Got it.
and this was one of the first recorded incidents of a police violence, that it would have shocked the conscience. It can't shock your conscience if that's kind of part of the course. So
it's real.
yeah.
It's real.
So we're cognizant of it to where we have to make sure that we don't. Even if you can hire a person and they were great, but they've been on the force for a while, and you never know when something may happen and they snap. Those are things that we have to monitor. Now, the flip side of it is some officers may feel it is an attack because guess what? They're doing the right thing every day. They love the community. They go out, they respect everyone, they respect their rights. They do everything they can the right way.
Got it.
But they're still, they feel unappreciated.
Okay.
Because nowadays you have everybody with a cell phone. So whenever, let's just say there's a traffic stop.
Okay.
Cell phone is in your face.
Certainly.
Daring you to do something. So the officers feel like I can't really affect my job because I'm being recorded.
Tell me, but I have to address that. Why can't you continue to do your job if you're doing the right thing?
No, not that you're not doing the right thing.
Okay.
But the feedback that you're getting from the person, whoever stopped.
Okay.
For instance, you ask a person, can you step out your car? Sir or ma'am. Why do I need to step out my car?
Got it. Okay.
So with that going on, now you put the officer in another situation, like, what do I do now? He's or she's not right to record me, but at the same time, not obeying my order. The police has the right to ask you to step out the car for their safety reason.
I understand.
So by asking you to step out the car and you filming, why did I need to step out my car? Sir, ma'am, will you please step out your car and I explain to you?
So
again. Now you're taking it to another
Things
place.
are escalated.
Yeah. A few weeks.
Got it. Understand, Chief.
A few weeks ago, I was out with one of our city commissioners, and we were, doing a walkthrough of an area that he has concerns over. And while we were out, a guy is in a car. He's hanging out the window. Now, is it normal to see somebody sitting in the car, hanging out the window, going down the street? That's not normal. Officers pull him over. The guy said, well, his girlfriend was driving. He's on the passenger side. I'm looking for my dog. It's like, well, that's kind of an odd way of looking for your dog. Well, they're doing the traffic stop. So what happens? People come walking out, filming it. A lady comes out of her porch. Now, it's like, it was hot that day and it was about to rain. But everybody comes out and they want to film it. Why? Because some people waiting to see, they want to be the next story. No, I mean, it shouldn't be it. But if you want to film it, why don't you film when you see somebody breaking in somebody's house? When you film, you see somebody shoot somebody, and when we get there, hey, we want to know what's happened. No, we didn't see what's happened. But, it kind of goes back to where's your energy actually going? If the officer is going to do what's right, but, the only reason I stopped you is to tell you that your brake light's not working.
Certainly.
But now you take it to the next level and escalate.
Camera.
Yeah, and that's the attack part is if I know.
Why are you doing it?
Yeah,
Right.
Well, what are we trying to get?
Well, but to some it doesn't make a difference because if you look at the cop there on George Floyd, he knew he was being recorded, but it didn't make a difference.
Right, you do have those.
And then
Yeah.
so that just
and that, I
whole
just
different
did not
spirit
agree with.
there,
Like I said earlier, when you're filming, if you're filming for the right reason, the right purpose, you can film all day long. You have that right.
Got it. So let's talk about that. I'm going to just go from there then. Since we're talking about filming, then what about the body cameras that your guys are supposed to be wearing?
Well, we're getting into the body camera thing, and I would tell you that if it's almost to a point we've been forced to do it, because if we have the right behavior, if you got the right behavior, then
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Well, and we've seen it. At one point, you could go, when we first came to law enforcement, you go to court, if the officer said it, Okay.
Right, good to go.
Today,
Okay.
If you put
Where's
it on
the-
paper, it's good to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Today, where's your audio? Where's your video?
Wow.
First thing.
If you don't
we ask
have
for.
it, then officer must.
You can do you can have everything documented, truthfully, accurate, but once they ask for the body cam, the video, if you don't have it, the other person is disputing what you wrote, you just about to lost the case.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
in order to
That's deep.
even add to our legitimacy as
Okay.
law enforcement, we have to move toward having body cameras, and one is, and it's really to protect everyone. We've had officers who've been complained on,
Okay.
and they say, well, the officer did such and such. You go back and review the tape. It was the other way around. You were the one being the agitator. So, and also, but then it goes back to behavior. You know, if you look at what happened in Baltimore last year, they had several officers who were caught on their own body camera planting dope.
Right.
To them, yeah, they had the cameras on, but it's the behavior. The camera's going to catch your true behavior. If anybody put a body camera on and you just walked around all day, you know, you'll get so used and comfortable with it that you're gonna
You'll forget.
You'll forget, and you're gonna revert right back to the behavior. What are we doing to correct the behavior
Right.
from the get-go?
Certainly.
So,
That's good. It's the behavior.
Yeah.
It is.
So when you're wearing your camera, it becomes a norm, like you say, you don't even think about having the camera on. You just revert back to your
That's your
regular
nature.
behavior.
Yeah.
it is. And if I come
Yeah.
in your house and I got the camera on, you know,
And then with the cameras, whenever there's a call, the camera must be activated at all times. When
Okay.
you're making contact with a person's property.
Got it.
Whenever it's dealing with a call.
Certainly.
yeah.
And they download it at the end of the shift.
But right now we don't have them.
We're moving toward. We tested several of them,
Okay.
and we'll be purchasing them in our new fiscal year. But we have the policies to cover it. Other agencies have.
Already
We
have
have
them?
we have cameras.
Certainly. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Let me ask you this. Many officers involved in shooting minorities have claimed they felt threatened. Officers have feel that they felt threatened. How are you taking steps to train officers in what is actually a threat and what is not a threat?
Well, it's the use of force continuum. It's the you know, if there's, when you talk about the ability, opportunity, and jeopardy, does the person have the ability to harm you? Is the opportunity present? And do you is jeopardy? You know, do you perceive to
Okay.
be jeopardy? Now, just feeling that you were threatened, you have, anytime you use force against somebody, you have to explain.
You have to show it.
Yeah. Some people have, and you got to know the whole story too. If I'm getting beaten by somebody and I'm laying, they're on top of me and they're just pounding me in the face. And the only thing I can do, I have to go to my service weapon and use it. You know, I knew it was perceived. Now, I can explain that because I'm probably going to have the bruising, you know, and I can explain why I had used force. What gets tough and hard for an officer is if somebody does an action and they just perceive, that gets hard to explain.
That they felt threatened.
That they felt. It's hard to explain that. So, but, you know, when you talk about the type of training, that's when you, we even do judgmental use of force.
Okay.
You know, they call it shoot, don't shoot scenarios.
Certainly.
And matter of fact, we've taken, I have a pastor's academy that I started earlier this year, and we took them through just like in our Citizens Police Academy. And you'll find out that the whole, you know, the citizens, the civilians, the people who are not trained, they shoot everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. But as an officer, it's something that we have to keep going and over and over. You never know what may happen at that time. And sometimes just by saying I felt threatened, it's hard to explain, you know, feeling threatened.
Yeah, I don't know how you define that.
It's
'Cause
hard.
what
It's
feels
hard.
threatening to
It's
you
hard
and me, it may be
because-
different.
That's right. It's just like in a judgmental shoot them. You have where the guy's coming out the bank. A bank is being robbed.
Okay.
Guy's running out the bank. You shooting, the police shoots at him. Don't have a gun. Guy just run out the bank. He was one of the customers in the bank.
Yes,
he
sir.
got a chance to run out the bank. The next time, the guy running out the bank is the guy with the gun.
Certainly.
So it gives you that judgment right there. You know, when are you gonna use force? When are you threatened?
And the other part is you have a split second to make a decision that you'll be judged for the rest of your life.
Let me just throw I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in this now. You guys help me out of this. For me personally, as a homeowner, what is when they cross the line that I feel threatened in my home that I can use my judge?
You have a right to protect your property.
But they have to be inside.
Well,
Talk to me.
okay. So growing up,
Okay.
I'll tell you, growing up, my folks said, well, you know, we used to say, well, if they outside and they breaking
Drag
in your
'em
house
in.
and you shoot them, you drag them in. Nah, we have in Georgia, it's called the castle doctrine.
Okay.
In Florida, they call it stand your ground.
Stand your ground, right.
But that's Georgia version of the stand your ground.
Okay.
So if you know, a situation that you feel threatened and you have nothing else to do but to protect yourself, your family, your property, then you use force. As a matter of fact, we had a case last year where this guy here in Albany was coming in on this property owner. He kept telling the guy to leave. Guy didn't have a weapon, but he just kept coming up on him. When he came as far as he could get inside the man's house in his back door, the guy shot and killed him. The homeowner did. So as a homeowner, you know, now I wouldn't say if you stand inside the house and somebody's out at your mailbox hollering at you and you start shooting at them, nah,
Okay.
you still inside the house. But if it's a situation where you're in your yard, somebody comes in your yard and attacking you and you have an opportunity to defend yourself, you can.
Okay.
You can do that. If we've had situations where people have, run away from the house and the homeowner jumped out and started shooting at them, well, they were leaving. The threat was over.
Got it.
The threat is over. No harm was done, but you still shooting at them. You'll probably get in trouble for that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
everyone needs to know what is considered your property. Everyone who lives in the state of Georgia needs to read the Castle Doctrine, what you can do or can't do on your own property.
Okay. That's also including with the church shootings.
Ooh, that's a
It's
power.
okay that we be ready.
Well, you know, yeah, it's a shame that today we have to say, you know, even at a church, you need to be ready because
Okay.
you never know.
Certainly.
You never know when somebody may come in and try to rob
That's
the
what I'm
church.
saying. Yeah.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
but you do need to be ready and you know, hey, if you're going to use force, everyone who's armed, they need to know what to do.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. What is your department protocol in terms of what constitute justified use of force?
I would say one of the forces used is necessary force.
Okay, when it's necessary.
Necessary force.
Okay.
You use force to detain a suspect.
Okay.
Okay. But once that suspect is not resisting,
Okay.
then the force should cease.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Only the force that's necessary.
Yes, sir.
They
Okay.
can go from small to big.
Okay.
But you have to be able to explain, articulate the force that was used.
I understand.
And it's the same for ours.
Okay. Are you also trained to deal with mental issues? Today, there's a lot of mental issues, and we're gonna have even more.
Crisis intervention
Right,
training.
right, CIT.
Okay. Yeah. Because I expect behind this pandemic, we're gonna see quite a bit.
Right. We require officers to go through a course.
How often do you go through that?
Yearly.
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 Okay. Yeah.
You have, and honestly, well, the reason we have to go through this is because when the state and other entities shut down your mental health hospitals
Yeah.
and funding to mental health
Certainly.
organizations
Yes, sir.
and substance abuse, well, they put it back on your locals.
Yeah.
Well, now we went to the academy to learn how to enforce the law, but you want us to be mental health
Yeah.
professionals?
Yeah.
listen, I didn't go to school for that. So you have to get trained in order to deal with all of these when somebody's in a crisis intervention. They may not have broken the law, but the family feels as though, hey, you know, we need somebody to come out here and talk to them. Well, that falls on us.
So if everybody trained, or do you have a specific team?
No, we send out everybody that's like going through basic whatnot that goes through this form of training.
And they can identify
Yeah.
signs of mental health issues.
And I would tell you this, and I'll tell my officer, the most dangerous person that you'll encounter on the streets is somebody who is called dual diagnosis.
Okay.
They have mental health issues and they are substance abusers.
Okay.
Because those two do not mix.
Okay.
And when they see a uniform, all they see is that's somebody who, last time I dealt with somebody in a uniform, I either ended up in a hospital or jail.
Certainly.
So they don't know who they are, they don't know who you are, and that's a dangerous person to deal with.
What about race sensitivity? We talked about mental health, but what about race sensitivity? Do you have training to deal with that?
Cultural diversity, cultural awareness.
Okay.
Those like procedural justice.
Okay.
And you have to bring up these topics of race and equality, because that wasn't taught so much about when we were coming up.
Okay.
No,
it wasn't.
then the state has gotten involved with that too.
Okay.
Making cultural awareness.
Are your officers trained to identify signs when one of their partners or their peers is agitated, or stressed out in the situation, and how to de-escalate that so that, for instance, like the George Floyd, if those other officers might have, and I know they was new, could have identified that he was agitated and he was stressed, maybe they could have stepped in and maybe said,
No,
No.
that course of
I see you
de-escalation.
shaking your head, Chief.
It's
That's
not, but he's right. But that course of de-escalation, it teaches you to de-escalate a situation. With Mr. Floyd being cuffed, wasn't resisting, I would expect the other officer to step in and told the officer who's on his neck, let's move, or stand him up, or sit him in the car, whatnot. They didn't, so that all four became complicit in the incident that was taking place.
Yeah, you know, you learn a lot of that through experience. That you know, you see somebody getting a little, it's like, hey, you know, it don't take all that. You know, just get the cuffs on them.
Okay.
Get them up off the ground. First of all, get them out of here.
Okay.
Because the sooner you can get handcuffs on them and you get them in the car on the way to the jail,
Yeah.
everything over.
You de-escalate a whole situation.
Yeah.
Number one, crowd is showing up, filming, looking. Sometimes that person see this going on, so sometimes they get a little resistant because of the camera and people standing around.
So not only are we talking de-escalation when it comes to a peer or a partner as another officer, but general public,
Oh yeah.
de-escalating them.
You know, it's once something is removed. I've seen it a lot on homicide scenes that until the body is removed from the location,
Yes, sir.
and they see the ambulance drive off, guess what? The crowd leaves.
Okay.
Right.
But when you talk about behaviors in officers, you know, sometimes this is where we have to even continue to work that.
Okay.
I need to check the temperature of my folks to make sure that we don't have any rogue officers.
Okay.
You know.
Since you said that, is there a protocol for reporting another officer?
Yes, we have it through our Office of Professional Standards.
Okay.
You can report really just you got to see, you know, if you see somebody doing something that's not right, you need to report that.
You got to report it
your
because
supervisor.
you not only, if you don't report it, you include yourself.
Okay. Yes,
You
sir.
know, what we call vicarious liability.
Okay.
You know, so when you see something, say something.
Say something. This movement here titled Black Lives Matters, what does that speak to you? Does it speak to you? What does that mean?
Just what it says, Black Lives Matters.
Well, some people say all lives matters.
Well, they do.
Well,
But
they do, but we have the title of Black Lives Matters, they seeking for a cause. They're trying to get the attention of the people across the nation.
Okay.
So a peaceful organization standing for the rights of Black Lives Matters.
It's like saying I love you. Now you love your wife,
Certainly.
but she want to hear you say,
Certainly.
okay.
Okay.
And sometimes if you don't say it often enough, she might feel some kind of way.
That's right.
Same thing.
Okay.
We know Black Lives Matter, but need to be. It's a reminder
Okay.
that we do matter.
Got it.
And as you know, God loves all.
Yeah.
You know, He created us all equal.
Yeah.
Sometimes people have to be reminded that we are all equal.
Yes, sir.
And no one is better than we don't have second class citizens here in this country.
Okay. There's a call across the country in some cities to defund police departments. What's your position on that?
I strongly disagree with that because police officers are an essential need
Okay.
to protect and serve.
Yes, sir.
And if you're gonna cut back on protecting and serving and let the people become their own policing, then we're really asking for something.
Wow. Yeah.
So therefore, we do need the police department. We don't need to defund the police department. Now, does the police department need to be held accountable?
Yes, sir.
For the action? They do.
Okay.
They do. So whenever something is going on, that person, him or her, whoever it might be, needs to be held accountable for whatever action they created.
Okay.
If you defund the
That's
police,
good.
what are you going to replace it with? That's my question.
Okay.
Because if we're already struggling with trying to recruit people and retain the ones we have, that if you take that funding away and I can't have that, what are you going to replace it with? Because when you talk about, because I mentioned earlier, the state defunded mental health,
Certainly.
substance abuse,
Yeah,
and they
shut
put
down
it
the
on,
Thomasville. Yeah.
shut it all down. Okay, well, if you even further shut down what we're doing
Yeah,
locally,
it's gonna get worse.
then, but what are you going to replace
Yeah.
it with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold us accountable.
Just like Chief just said with the mental health when they defunded that. Not only does it hold us up dealing with this person about 15 minutes, now we got to waste the resource into this person for hours.
Yes, sir.
Now it takes away from everything else that's going on.
Certainly. You know, a lot of people in some cities have lost their trust and confidence in the law enforcement. What do you think they can do to regain that?
Ooh, man, you got to hit the streets.
Okay.
And go out there and regain that trust.
Okay.
Apologize, and
Oh, that's
not just say the words, but
Okay.
you got to acknowledge all those past hurts.
That's good.
All of them, not just what happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Not just what happened, 4
year.
months ago. No, I'm talking about
Years.
and decades, centuries.
You got to acknowledge the problem between the police and the people and let
Yeah.
the healing process start.
Yeah.
And when the healing process starts, let God
Yeah.
do the calling,
Yeah.
bring everything together.
The Bible said we perish because of a lack of knowledge. So what would you say to people if they get confronted or engaged or pulled over with a police officer? How should they handle that?
Just listen,
Okay.
comply
Okay.
to what's going on.
Okay.
If you feel you mistreated, you have the right to report it,
Okay.
to come down, and there will be a complaint taken, and it go from there. But if you resist and you agitate the problem, it only creates a problem there. So whenever you stop, just comply to whatever the officer's asking for.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And I agree. You also hear some people say, well, things can go bad. Yeah, it can. But I would say for the most part, if you remain calm throughout, then once you're released, don't wait.
That's right.
Immediately go.
That's right.
Immediately go to that local law, wherever that is, and I want to talk to somebody, and don't leave until your concerns are heard.
Okay.
Or either ask for a supervisor.
Okay. They come to the scene.
Come
Come to the scene.
Okay.
It could be the supervisor that you're having a problem with.
Got it.
Then ask for authority higher than the
So,
supervisor.
but a lot of people don't know they can do that. That they can call for higher authority,
Yeah, they
go up
can.
the chain of command.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Got it. Got it. So how do you deal with people who disrespect you because you're an African American police chief? If that has happened, or when that happened, you're an African American police chief, and how do you deal with that?
I laugh it off.
You laugh it off? Okay.
It's ignorance because I'm not going to let them. And it's hard. It's hard being a black man and you the police chief.
Wow. That's
you know,
good.
you don't want to. For me, I have to balance it. You know, if you're too blue, then the black community can say you forgotten.
Yeah.
You become too black,
Right.
then the blue community say, "Hey, what you doing?"
Yeah.
So it always falls back to listen. You treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect everyone's right, and listen. We're gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the right thing.
And I agree with everything the chief was saying, but I have yet to experience that from my peers.
Okay.
It's mostly the people that works for you.
Wow.
Yes, when you're coming up through the ranks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do it.
That's mostly where you kind of encounter that.
Got it.
But I can't say it won't happen. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen. But in my presence, I have yet to experience that from people on the outside.
Okay. Because you're a black African American police chief.
Right.
You haven't had too many problems.
No.
Not too many. That's why I say just laugh it off.
Just laugh it off. Yeah. Got it. Lastly, do you think there are any laws that need to be implemented or changed to deal with the hatred and racism across the country? Laws to deal with the hatred or the racism that we face in this nation? They need to be implemented or changed.
We need to. I do say that there are certain crimes that I do believe that every state needs to have a hate crime
Okay.
law, because there are some things that people will do and regardless of, because again, this matter goes way beyond. You have a transgender community, the LGBTQ
Yes, sir.
and other that whole community who are targeted every day.
Okay.
You have immigrant community
Okay.
who are targeted.
Got it.
Every state needs to have that. And I will say, and I may be wrong,
Okay.
that the bill that gave black people the right to vote. I mean, listen, we're all citizens here. Anybody who comes to this country, we're citizens. So if you're a citizen, that's a right you need to have.
Yes, sir.
There may be some laws that we need to revisit that were, we got this because it was based on, the color or gender. But if we're American citizens, then, it's all of us have that equal treatment. And there may be some laws that we need to remove that,
It's kind of antiquated.
yeah,
So to speak, yeah.
But I do, when you go and look through it, and there's another thing talking today about banning chokeholds.
Yeah.
That's something we don't teach.
At all.
It's in our policy, no type of neck restraint.
Certainly.
But then there's another movement of these banning no-knock search warrants.
Okay.
I don't think we need to ban them. We just need to there needs to be strong justification to use them.
Okay.
So,
That's just like the situation in Louisville, the no-knock that they had.
Yeah.
When officers went in there.
Okay.
The guy actually thought
Somebody was breaking in, defending himself.
Yeah, so he defended himself and returned fire, ended up killing the girl.
Young lady, yeah.
well, the no-knock wasn't the problem. The problem was they lied
Right.
getting the warrant. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Because the judge is gonna put on there, he's gonna ask he's gonna ask you questions. Why would you want a no knock? So when you would lie to build your case up, and the judge signs and give you a no knock, then you go there and they find out that this wasn't really cause for a no knock. Now you have lied.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Can cause a lot of trouble.
So that goes back to the behavior.
Yeah. Well, Chiefs, I want to thank both of y'all for being with us today. The Bible teaches us to be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good.
Yes.
And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes it's very challenging. But we have to stand back on the Word of God in spite of what it is and continue to trust God through whatever we go through, to know that He's watching over us. And we certainly pray for y'all and pray for your department, for your safety, because I know it's dangerous out there. But I want to thank you personally for all that y'all do for us and the community and all. Sometimes you don't get the credit that you so deserve. Like you say, some people are always looking for the negative. But I want to thank you so much on the behalf of Barack Fellowship Church and the City of Albany and the Pastoral Coalition of Pastors here to say thank you so much for what you do. And I want to also thank this production company here, Rap Code Media, who produced this for us today, for doing an excellent job. We thank them. And we want to encourage you to continue to pray, continue to trust God through it all. And we'll continue to pray for you. God bless you, and we look forward to talking with you again real soon. Have a good day.